How you been, man? How are
I'm good, yeah. Yeah, as good as I can be in Victoria, as you call it, but
you? Yeah. Hey, Mark and James from Knife. Welcome to Nightbreed. How you guys going?
we're good. Yeah. Well, I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Really excited to, get this thing going. So it's pretty exciting times to finally get it out there. It's like we're kind of anybody, to release the beast.
Mhm. Nah, excellent, man. So, back in 2020, what prompted the start of Knife?
It's funny with the whole pandemic thing. The sense of time is kind of James, did we start before the pandemic? I think we had the ideas beforehand, didn't we?
Yeah, we were starting to think about it just before,
Yeah.
but that delayed everything. So,
Yeah, I think we sort of the concepts were there, and then we sort of slowed it down a little bit with everything's going on. But yeah, we kind of we've always worked, we've always sent ideas to ourselves, regardless, even pre-pandemic.
Mm.
Yeah, I think we always we've been in a few metal bands and hardcore bands before, and I think we just wanted to do something a little bit different. We kind of loved all the bands that influenced us, so it was always kind of in the wing, I think, but we'd always been too busy doing other things.
Okay. Yeah, I've been listening to the Wound EP. It sounds awesome, but I've got to say the first thing I thought of was Nail Bomb. I'm like, oh my god, this is is that where you're coming from? Like,
yeah.
yeah,
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 it was basically Nail Palm, Godflesh, and early Fear Factory.
yeah. Nice. Okay.
First album.
Cool. So,
Yeah, I think
When I was writing the riffs and the bass lines and everything, that's what I was thinking.
cool. Okay.
But then it just progressed from there and changed. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, I think because we've always been big fans of that. I think everyone can get nostalgic, but you two boys have got very good nostalgic T-shirts. So
Yeah, I know.
I nearly pulled one of those out myself. So
Yeah.
which was really lucky. It's kind of like when you go to a gig and it's like, oh no, we should have spoke about that. But that 90s earache era is just so incredible. Like when you think about it, what come out, it was just bang, bang, bang with those things. So like James mentioned, Godflesh, Nail Bomb, huge, and also the bands kind of, I suppose on the fringe of that as well, everything from Bolt Thrower to Terrorizer and all those kind of things. They may not sound like that, but yeah, I think definitely a lot of throwbacks to that, which is all about the riffs, I suppose, and the heavy.
Mm. Did that sort of thought in mind influence the way you produced the EP, like how you sort of recorded everything?
I think, James can definitely answer more about the technical side of it because we recorded a lot of stuff at his house and he's in charge of all the little knobs and all those kind of production side of it. But kind of from when we recorded it, a good friend of ours in a band called No Names in Canberra, he's in like an industrial band and that as well. So he kind of got the brief of what we were doing and just added that extra, I suppose, thickness to the whole sound. And it kind of, I think between the three of us, we really communicated pretty well and got the brief, what we, the ideas that we had. So just to kind of punch it up a little bit, James could probably answer more about the production, the pre-production side of it. But yeah, I think he just added that thickness to it. Like, we all kind of, we're very familiar with those bands. If it's like, early Godflesh, Pitch Shifter, even probably some crust punk bands as well. A kind of bit of that crossover. We all kind of dig the same sort of band, so that makes it kind of easy.
Yeah, because when I first mixed it, it sounded brutally heavy like Napalm Death, but it was losing the industrial touch. But when Stephen in Canberra got to it, he just changed it totally and made it a different beast.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It did things I never would have thought of doing in the mixing and mastering that just brought it out.
No, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Just talking about, that sound. Have either of you got into the Go Ahead and Die, Cavalera's new project that came out last year?
Yeah, love it, man.
It's good, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah. It was huge fan because you kind of didn't know what you were expecting, and I think probably both of us are huge, Sepultura fans, and in all the kind of variations, and then so you kind of didn't know what to expect, but it really, like, did it shock you when it came out? Were you surprised how it sounded like?
Yeah, especially the production. Like, the drum sounds really it's not bad. Like, it's not that Saint Anger bad, but you can see that's kind of what they're going for, that garagey sound, right? Like, it's cool. I think it sounds really good,
Yeah, it sounded I think it kind of it sounded quite punky, like but not like what you were talking about, not death by snare, like Saint Anger. There was definitely not that kind of and just the good mix of the vocals and everything. I was pretty surprised because when you seen the front cover, it looked like a pretty aggressive album, and you could kind of expect that from Max and Cavalera, Conspiracy, and all those kind of things. So, but you could easily kind of listen to it and drop off that edge and be disappointed. So, it was a great record.
Cool. So if we step away from the knife for a minute, you guys are involved with the Devil's Horn zine, right? How did that all start? What's the story there?
Well, I was for a while. I've always kind of had an interest in kind of music journalism for a long time, and then I started writing for a zine, Ragged Press, like a Melbourne punk underground one, and then all of a sudden was kind of thought, well, maybe I'll take some photographs at the start of some gigs and stuff, and then kind of got into it. And I suppose the hilarious thing about that, as well as I've got to speak to like a lot of my idols or guys that I'm really into. The very first international interview I did was Napalm Death, which is no pressure there. It's probably like one of my all-time favorite bands. But yeah, not to divert too much of that story, but the hilarious thing, and I spoke to Shane and I spoke to Barney, and it was like the first international interview I ever did, and he won't mind me saying, but Barney kind of got him on the chat, and he goes, in his very broad Birmingham accent, he goes, hold on a minute, mate, I've just got to go and have a crap or whatever, and it was like, it's like, and then then he got as tangential as Barney gets into politics and everything else. So I've been doing that for a couple of years when between bands and stuff, and it's good fun, you know what I mean? And sometimes the interviews are a bit stressful. You've done a lot of them yourself, so it's but it's great fun, isn't it, when you can kind of go deep on it. So it's been really good, especially over the pandemic, to kind of do that stuff, do some reviews, interviews. Yeah, good fun.
Awesome, man. That's cool. Yeah. So I've seen your two music videos for Greed and Sinners. Some bands don't do music videos, but I'm a sucker. I love a good music video. Yeah. So how'd they come together? Like, who put the music videos together?
Those videos, that's the first time I've kind of given it a crack. But kind of just putting it together with different kind of footage. But I suppose also from James' point of view as well, we kind of got a pretty good understanding. Like we do like our shitty horror films and all that kind of imagery. We're into kind of definitely that kind of stuff as well. So it's a bit of that crossover. I think a bit of that, the metal, a bit of horror, a bit of imagery. I think it all kind of ties together. That works really well. And I like what you just said, and probably James is very similar as well. love a good music video. So it's if I had the time and that, I'd probably make a, there's only 5 songs on the EP. I'd love to make a clip for every single song. So yeah, it's good fun. Yeah, cool. James at his house has got a full projector, and so it's fantastic for movies and fantastic for watching your YouTube concerts of bands and stuff. Yeah, good fun.
That's cool. So did you guys have a chat about sort of themes and that kind of thing for the videos?
I think we touched on the lyrical themes, and then because it's kind of a little bit like the songwriting. It's kind of, we both do a lot of it. James does pretty much all the musical writing. He's a bit of a craftsman about it. Like, we've known each other for over 20 years, so we communicate pretty well. Like, I'll say, I've got an idea for this. He'll send me like a track, and you'll just, gets it straight away. So I think because we're dudes that have known each other for a long time, we're on the same wavelength. So sometimes frustratingly so, but so I think we just kind of, those themes. James is writing, more lyrics and stuff as well, but we probably got that old punk rock and metal thing of, anti-church and anti-authority. That's pretty easy to come across in those. So good fun.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, nice, awesome. So strange times at the moment with COVID and everything. Are you guys? Is there going to be shows to back up this EP or anything?
James probably knows a little bit more about that, but we're definitely keen. We're definitely
keen, but it's just finding the band members. I've got a drummer lined up, probably a bass player, and possibly someone to do all the samples and extra stuff as well. So it could happen soon.
Oh, awesome!
But it's just finding time to rehearse and getting it out there. Yeah.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Cool. And then talking horror movies, we gotta get some horror movies talking then. Like, what's I won't ask what's your like dead favorite, but what's a really good one you've seen recently?
He's going to think on it a lot because he ponders on those questions. But he does like the classics, the Brain Dead and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're going to jump to that, weren't you, James?
Yeah, or probably Deathgasm.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
yeah. I know, Peter Jackson's working on the 4K Brain Dead. I'm like, come on, and Meet the Feebles as well. Should be good, man.
I didn't even know that. That's amazing.
It's exciting, eh? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome, man. So I guess, obviously, hopefully live at some point, but what's next for Knife? Are you guys working on the next release or anything like that?
Yeah, we're starting to work on a full length.
Yeah.
I've got one track done so far. We're working on it.
Okay.
But I've just got so many other projects happening as well. So it's just finding the time.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
But,
I mean, we're definitely aiming to do a full album this year as well. So, like James said, we've got a couple of songs. Because we've been in a few bands, and James is still in quite a few bands. So there's plenty of songs there. It's a matter of kind of where they're going to go and how they're going to evolve. I think we kind of, from the EP, we're probably not a huge direction change or anything like that. We're not going to become a pop punk band or anything like that. We're probably, if anything, we're probably going to add some maybe harsh electronics and stuff into it as well. So just to kind of make it even more heavy as well. So looking into that kind of stuff. So and playing live, so I think the main thing this year, hopefully record that album and then play live. There's some of our mates in bands and that were kind of asking about it straight away, but like James said, a little bit of the pandemic and the busyness of everybody, but we definitely want to particularly with the samples, I think, and James can probably talk more to that. It's where the drumming and where that fits in, if it's triggered stuff and all that. Again, he's more of a technical man. So what were you had ideas about that, didn't you, James, about how?
Yeah, basically it'd be a live drummer and then the sample's played by someone else, but you just have to nail it. Else it's
Yeah.
just not gonna- yeah.
It's difficult, but I'm sure it sounds great. I'm sure you guys can do it. Yeah.
Because I'd rather not do it to a click track.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's the so in Victoria, like you're talking about, having a bit more of an industrial sort of sound with electronics and stuff. Is there like a scene there that's sort of that fits, or is it just kind of hardcore shows, metal shows, like you kind of fit in wherever? What do you reckon?
I mean, I think there's, it's a weird, it's funny even when we put the video out there, it's kind of that kind of almost like metal cliche, and it's like the industrial people or the gothic people thought it was too metal, and the metal people thought it was too industrial. So it's quite funny where it fits in, So we, I think there's those scenes there, but I probably think because the overall sound, like I said, we've been in hardcore bands and metal bands before. I think the guts of it is really metal, so I think that's where it'll fit in. But probably we've also got friends that are in bands that are, using a lot of, they're just using pedals and real noisy shit in that as well. So it's somewhere in between that kind of fringe, I think. So there's, so hopefully we'll fit in there in between, and I mean, basically just to be aggressive and tons of riffs, which, all the bands we mentioned before, that kind of earache bands, and particularly as you identified, Nailbomb, just that wherever you listen to the album or you look at that Dynamo set, it's just, pummeling kind of shit. That's just, so I suppose it grabs a few crowds, so.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, look, James, Mark, thanks heaps for your time, and I'm really enjoying the EP. Everyone watching this, go check it out for sure. It's good shit, and definitely keen to hear what comes next, guys. Thanks very much.
Cheers, man. Appreciate your time too. That's
Cool.
Good having a chat. So
Awesome. Sweet,
thanks again, man.
Cool. Thanks, fellas. Have a good one, eh?